There's a reason the Kia Telluride is flying off dealer lots. Let's find out why that is. Jared here with CarBuzz.com, and this week I'm reviewing the 2022 Kia Telluride. This vehicle has been a smashing success for the Korean automaker since it debuted a few model years ago. The 2022 version has a few small updates that we're going to talk about, but we're going to see why this has been such a smashing success for the Kia brand. It all starts with the driving experience, which is way better than you'd expect for the price of this car. Power comes from a 3.8 liter Lambda naturally aspirated V6 engine. Power is not overwhelming at 291 horsepower, nor is torque very high at 262 pound-feet, but that seems to be a common trait among the naturally aspirated V6s in this segment. Honestly, I think the engine is the one area that Kia could instantly improve the Telluride. They have a newer 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces pretty much the same power as this V6, but way more torque. You can already get that engine in the Sorento. I think drop that under the hood of the Telluride and it would be a nice improvement. Either that or give the Telluride a hybrid option. I think that would make this so competitive because currently the fuel economy ratings of 20 mpg in the city, 26 on the highway, and 23 combined with front wheel drive, or 19 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 21 combined with all wheel drive are just okay, not great. And if you care about how much the Telluride can tow, it can pull up to 5,000 pounds. But the engine is not really the story with the Telluride. As I mentioned earlier, it's about the driving experience, which feels way more premium than you'd expect at this price. The steering is tight and direct. The suspension is compliant without feeling sloppy, and overall the body control for such a large vehicle is very impressive. I'm particularly impressed with how quiet it is in this cabin at highway speeds. It makes the Toyota Highlander feel like a flimsy tent in a windstorm. And Kia chucks in so many standard safety features: driver attention warning, blind spot avoidance assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane keeping assist, lane follow assist, smart cruise control, and highway drive assist all come standard on the Kia Telluride, and they all work brilliantly. You want a perfect demonstration of that? We're about to see it. I have the lane follow assist up. You can see the steering wheel is going to start to turn with the road. My hands are supposed to be on the wheel. I'm just kind of showing you for accuracy's sake how the car will kind of nudge itself around corners. It will eventually beep at me to tell me to put my hands on the wheel, but for all intents and purposes, this is one of the best lane keep assists I've ever experienced in a new car. Aside from the engine, which feels pretty average compared to competitors in this segment, everything else about how the Telluride drives feels a class above the rivals. Honestly, this drives a lot better than some luxury cars that are much more expensive. So now that we've driven the Telluride, let's pull over to talk about the interior. But before we do, now is a great time to remind everybody to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to be alerted of our latest videos. If you want to read more about the 2022 Kia Telluride, be sure to check out CarBuzz.com, link in the description below. So not much has changed inside the Telluride for 2022, which is fine by me because this was one of the best cabins, if not the best cabin in the segment. We now get this 10.25-inch touchscreen standard on all trim levels. We also get dual zone automatic climate control standard on all trim levels, and you also get highway driving assistant and a few other safety features standard on all trim levels. Kia just giving you more value for less. We're currently sitting in the top SX Prestige model of the Telluride, meaning that we have a few luxury features that you don't get in some of the other models. Some of the niceties in here include heated and ventilated Napa leather seats, which look great with this really cool stitch pattern. You get a heated steering wheel, 360-degree camera, blind spot view camera, and this really great Harman Kardon digital surround sound system that is really great for a non-luxury automaker. It's one of the best I've heard in a mainstream vehicle like this. And just overall, the cabin in here feels a lot more expensive than the price tag would insinuate. We've got this nice faux wood finish on the dash. All of the materials are soft, especially this headliner. It feels like this really nice suede material. I love how premium it feels in the Telluride. I don't think anybody else can do an interior this nice at this price. Honestly, I can't believe Kia is able to package all of this for under $50,000. It's such a bargain. The only criticisms I can possibly think of, and I'm reaching here, is maybe I'd like to have a full digital instrument cluster, which you can get on this car's corporate sibling, the Hyundai Palisade. And then on this 10.25-inch touchscreen, I'd really like it if the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay were wireless, which you can get on some Kia screens, but not this larger 10.25-inch one. Here in the back seat of the Telluride, every model except for the base trim is going to come with these captain's chairs, limiting the seating capacity to only 7. If you want to get 8 people in the Telluride, you actually got to opt for the base model. But I think the captain's chairs are great. They're super comfortable. You can slide them forward and backwards to have plenty of space. Your kids can also recline them to get very comfortable. And speaking of comfort, if you have the SX Prestige trim, the highest one like we have here, you've got these little buttons on the door here. You can heat and ventilate these seats. That is a very rare feature that you can't even get on a BMW X7. There are so many luxury SUVs that don't have heated and ventilated seats in the second row, so I love how Kia does that. We also have some other nice features. We've got these USB ports built into the seats so your kids can keep their devices charged. They get their own climate controls up here on the roof, and also up here on the roof, the kids get their own moonroof. That's a really cool touch. Now, in terms of getting into the third row, it's very easy if you get the captain's chairs. Obviously, you can kind of just go in between the two, but to make it even easier, Kia has these little eject buttons on the seat. You just push it and it slides all the way forward, giving you a wide opening with which to crawl into the third row, which can fit 3 people, although I think squeezing 3 people back here would be a little bit tight. Legroom is okay. It's one of the best in the segment. I think the only vehicle that's going to offer you more space in this class is the Chevy Traverse, but other than that, this is one of the best third rows that you can get in a mid-size crossover. You get 4 cup holders back here, 2 USB ports, and some climate controls so you won't get too claustrophobic. And we saw that the third row is very large on the Telluride, and the same can be said for the cargo capacity. This is on the larger side of the mid-size 3-row segment. There's not much bigger than this. Even with the third row up, we still have a decent 21 cubic feet of space back here with a little bit of storage underneath the floor if you need to hide some items down there. Now, the Hyundai Palisade, which is this car's corporate sibling, has a power third row. The Telluride does not have that, at least not yet, so you have to manually fold it. I don't think that's such a big deal because you saw how quick that was. The power seat in the Palisade is actually a little bit slow. Now, with the third row down, you get 46 cubic feet of space, and from the third row seat, I can push these buttons and fold down the second rows to open up 87 cubic feet of space. That is something that Infiniti did not think of on the QX60 we drove a couple weeks ago. Now, with 87 cubic feet of space, there is nothing bigger in this class except the Chevy Traverse. The Toyota Highlander and Honda Pilot are both smaller. Let's wrap up here on the exterior, where thankfully not much has changed on the Telluride because it was already a very handsome looking vehicle. The thing that you'll probably notice that's different here for 2022 is the new Kia logo. That old black oval with the boring text is gone. I think this font looks way more premium, so maybe I will stop hearing in the comment sections, but it's still a Kia, you know who you are. Stop it. And I love the rest of the styling here. You get these really cool orange marker lights here on the headlights. I love how it says Telluride big across the hood. That really makes me think of a Range Rover when I look at it. And then here on the side, I'm liking these black wheels that you get on the SX trim, although not necessarily when combined with this paint color. It looks better with some of the other different shades. And if you don't love this chrome here, you can get a special Nightfall Edition package that will black out everything. Looks super aggressive. And one small little detail that might have slipped my eye, but not the eye of my astute camera guy, Austin, is that although we have the new Kia logo here on the tailgate, if you look down here on the hitch, that's the old Kia logo. I think Kia needs to print some new rubber pieces. So that was the 2022 Kia Telluride. Pricing starts at just under $33,000 for the base front-wheel drive trim. This SX Prestige model that you see here with all-wheel drive is just under $47,000. As I've mentioned in the video, that makes this a tremendous value that I would recommend over pretty much anything in the competing class. But there is a problem with that. The Telluride has a popularity problem. This vehicle is so well priced and so in demand that you probably can't get one at MSRP right now. In fact, I've seen a few of these selling for about $65,000. That puts it in competition with a completely different group of vehicles like the Acura MDX and Infiniti QX60. Boy oh boy do I love the Telluride, but I'm not sure I could recommend it at that price. So if you can nab a Telluride for MSRP, I would recommend doing it. And if you liked this review and you'd like to see more, be sure to like and subscribe to the CarBuzz YouTube channel and ring the notification bell to be alerted of our latest videos. As always, if you want to read more about the 2022 Kia Telluride, be sure to check out carbuzz.com.